Hello guys, good afternoon. So one more time, we're here. This is gonna be an asynchronous class, and there's a couple of things I wanted to share with you for today's lesson. This is the session number 11. Today is February the 24th. If you're a group B, you're going to be watching this video tomorrow, which means it's gonna be February 25th. Wow, yes. So anyways, because this is a recording that is going to be used for both groups, because it makes no sense to record this twice. Um, so yes, we're gonna start, and today we're going to develop an activity, and this is hopefully you like it, guys. It took a while. Don't take pity on me just because I'm saying it took a while to create this activity, but it took a while to create this activity. But I designed it, and I wanted you to have like the best experience ever with my course. No, I'm just kidding, but I want to vary with the different activities so you can get exposed to different type of content and you don't get bored with readings or PDF or assignment or videos. But you have all of them plus gamification plus analysis plus web quest and the different activities we've created so far and we have completed so far. So hopefully you are enjoying this course at this point, guys. There are a couple of announcements. So this is announcement section. Probably I'm not going to edit this out, so it's not going to appear the announcement thing. I'm not that, I'm not there yet. But anyways, the announcement number one is, so we are going to have this session, and next week we're going to have I basically replaced the second part of this topic and I put it together because I wanted to have the next class that is going to be a live session, a Q&A with you. So if you have any questions about the course, so I'm going to give you some advices for the midterm, which is going to be March 10th. Oh, sorry, March 3rd and March 4th. So which is next week, depending on the group you are part of. If your group A is going to be March the 3rd, and if your group B, it's going to be on March the 4th. All right. But on Monday and on Tuesday, we're going to have this session that I call lab collection and midterm instructions, which means if you haven't completed any of the activities, so I'm going to make them all available on the weekend. Listen, I'm going to make all the activities available, all the activities that are evaluated available during the weekend so you can complete it. One last chance to complete all the tasks and all the activities we've covered so far. It's going to be a lot, but if you can make it, so try it. So it's going to be, the space is going to be open over there for you. And the deadline is going to be during the session that we had, which is session number 12, that is live collection, lab collection, I'm sorry. So I'm going to make all the activities available Saturday, Sunday, all right? So you can go to the activities and see, oh, I'm still missing this one, I'm still missing the other one, so I can complete it on the weekend. Activities for group A and B are going to be available all day, Saturday and Sunday. Okay. Next week, we are going to have for group A the session that is going to be on Monday. That is going to be a Q&A, and it's going to be the deadline for the activities, the presentation of the different activities. And on Tuesday for group B. Also, I'm going to give you some instructions, tips, and advices for the midterm so you get prepared. And later on, I'm going to upload a PDF document with the checklist of the topics that I'm going to cover. So you don't have to study everything, but I'm going to let you know which topics are covered for the midterm. Okay? All right. So that's pretty much the announcement. Yeah. So I'm closing the announcement section. I'm going to start with the lesson, guys. So hopefully you're doing fine. Today's Wednesday. We're midweek, and next Wednesday we're going to have the midterm. No point intended. You don't need to laugh. Great. So I'm going to start sharing my screen, and this is a second announcement one more time. This is going to be a gamification session, a gamified activity. So hopefully you enjoy it, you like it. That's a lot of things you got to do, like you have to complete the task, but hopefully you like it, guys, and hopefully you learn from the topic. So let me just share the screen and let's go to the, I'm going to show you how it actually looks like for both groups. So, all right, this is what I'm talking about. So this is session number 10 and the level is the sixth one, but in the whole unit, it's session number 11. The sacred and the secular part 1 and 2, because I combined them. So in this one, previously was called the sacred and the secular part 2, but I wanted to have a lab collection. So to have this live session that is going to be a Q&A and also the midterm instructions. All right. But we're going to focus on this one, which is the session that corresponds for today's lesson. All right. So in here, basically, you have the competence we're going to develop, and it is to explore the concept of secular and sacred during the Renaissance period of British literature by completing five gamified tasks through a PowerPoint presentation while showing interest and curiosity to the topics presented, right? In here, you're going to find this recording in this section. You're going to have the instructions. So you don't need to worry about that right now. And then we're going to have the section that is going to be the activity. In here, you're going to have the link for the homework section. Basically, what you are going to find in here in this one, it's, let me show you. You need to go to session number 11, the sacred and the secular. And this is going to be the last activity you're going to fulfill, deliver. All right, let's go back to the materials. What are some of the materials? You are going to find the presentation template that you are going to use. So guys, please make sure you use the template that I offer you, because over there, it's easier for me to check the homework and to see the materials. Because if you transfer it to a different type of document, sometimes it gets a little bit tricky and sometimes they get a little bit treacherous and stuff, you know? So please use the template that I'm giving you. All right, guys, so you are not going to believe this, but this is actually my second time recording this video, because the previous time I was sharing the screen with the TV, and for some reason it didn't, it didn't show what I was trying to show you in the video. So in this part, I'm going to leave the first 8 minutes, which is instructions. And in this part, I'm going to explain you the activity corresponding to session number 11. All right, so hopefully we don't get any troubles right now, because it will be very frustrating. But you know, sometimes this kind of thing happens. Let's see if I can share my presentation so we can explore the resources and activity design for today's lesson. All right, this is the template you are going to find in the material section. And this is the British literature course. One more time, it's the sacred and the secular in the part 1 and 2. Remember that I was explaining you that I think in the previous part of the video that we have combined both of them, the first part and the second part. All right, this is an interactive asynchronous class, and you are going to explore and navigate through the buttons. You can use the different buttons. For example, if you want to go back and you want to go to the next slide, you can use all of them. And this is the introduction, kind of the instructions to let you know what we're getting here. So this presentation will offer you the opportunity to explore the influence of religious texts and their impact on British literature during the Renaissance period. So that's basically what we're doing here. We exploring the sacred and the secular during the Renaissance periods in British literature. Awesome. All right, so you can click on the activity section, and these are the 5 tasks that I probably mentioned in the previous section, and that you are going to complete. So for today's lesson and for the, you're going to have a whole week to complete the task. I totally recommend you to do it during the time that is your class schedule, because you don't delay any other activity, or you'll get frustrated at the end of the week. So you can go in the order you want. I recommend you to go in the correct order, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the first one is the metaphysical poets. We're going to cover a topic that is called the Cavalier Poets from the King James Bible, John Donne, Death Be Not Proud, and literary elements at the end. We're going to click on the first one. Number 1, we're going to go in order. In this slide, you can find the metaphysical poets, which is the first task. The first activity for this task is find a definition. What does metaphysical mean? So this is a PowerPoint template. So what you can do is you can you can exit the full screen, and then you can start editing. Most of the time, blue boxes are for answer. So what you can do is you can delete the word definition here. You can replace it with the correct definition. And then you say, oh, metaphysical is this, according to this, blah, blah, blah. And then you're done. You go to the next activity. And in this activity, I call it link it. Why link it? Because you are going to link the statement to its correct answer. So you're going to find the definition for each of them. And I'm going to leave you a reading that is one page long. Only one reading for this, so you can find the information of it. So what is the corresponding definition to the use of the argument, use of comparison, use of language? So what you're going to do is you can link with an arrow, you can draw with color, with a line. Just let me know which is which one. All right, so I make sure that you will have the correct answer. Don't do like in the videos, like you mix it up in order to not knowing which is the correct one. Make it clear, please. Draw a line with the corresponding. Great. Hopefully you don't have any problems. So for this one, you need to go to the materials to read it. You're going to find the document as Reading for Metaphysical Poets. That's going to be the name of the PDF, Reading for Metaphysical Poets. And then you read it, and then you answer it. Once you finish, you go to the next one. In this one, you're going to do match. It's not Tinder, but similar to it. You're going to choose the writer that best represents the biography. Find the biographies in the next slide. So you have 3 characters in here, 3 writers of the metaphysical poets group. We have number 1, number 2, and number 3. I still need to edit this. I'm sorry for that. So you have number 1, number 2, and number 3. So we have 3 different pictures. And in this section, you have the area to answer. All right. The way it works, you're going to go to the next one. And then you have 3 biographies, short biographies, fragments of biographies. Where can you have the full biography with the reference of the pictures? You go to this article. And if you consider that after reading the selection of the biography in letter A, for example, you go, oh, he was ordained in an Anglican priest, blah, 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 blah. Let's go back. So I think that this one is number 1, for example. So you say, oh, number 1 is letter A. So what you are going to do is you are going to delete letter B and letter C. And you are only going to leave the correct letter, okay? If you think that number 2 is letter C, so what you're going to do is you're going to delete letter B and letter A. And you're only going to leave letter C as the correct answer. For that purpose, you need to read the fragment of the selection of biography, or you can read the full article in the link that is in here. So you just copy and paste, and then you just go back and forth. And I apologize for that noise. Hopefully you don't get to hear it. The next activity, so once you do all of that, you're done with activity. This activity, I call it spot the intruder. So a spot the intruder is basically to find which one does not belong. And one more time, we're talking about metaphysical points. I still need to fix it. And you have a selection, a list of people in here. So you can click and then it's going to link you, it's going to direct you to another page where you can find the biography. Some clues that you need to find, in here we're talking about British people. So probably if you find an American person, or if you find an Indian person, and that is the intruder. Or you need to find out that it says it's from the metaphysical group of poets. All right, once you finish, remember, blue boxes are for answering. So you're going to type which is from all of this, which one is the intruder, or which one does not belong to the metaphysical parts. Awesome. Hopefully you understand this part. Great, you can go to the next one, or you can still go to in this section, right? It's pretty much the same. Now, the second task is all about the cavalier part. And the first question is, define cavalier in the box below. Remember, blue boxes are for answer. There you go. Cavalier is, you go to the dictionary, you go to the Wikipedia, you go to internet, you go to I don't know where, and then you find the definition, you read the definition, you digest the definition, and then you understand it, and then you place it. Please don't do those just copy and paste, because that's pointless. Just copy and paste, because probably define cavalier. What is the definition of cavalier in the midterm? Remember, we have midterm next week. It's going to be for Group A, March 3rd, Group B, March 4th. All right, that's short announcement. Let's go to the other activity, the next activity. Choose right. In this section, what I want you to do is you're going to light up the name of the Cavalier poets that appear in the article. Which article? The one that it's in here. So you can click, you go and read the article, and then you're going to find and identify and spot all of the names that are part of the Cavalier. It's very short. It's like a paragraph or two. So you just need to go and find which of them are mentioned in the article. Mr. The question is, how can I spot? How can I highlight the question? So you basically are going to do this. In here, since this is, you can edit it because it's a PowerPoint presentation. It says, use this circle to highlight, copy, and paste as required. For example, if you have like 5 poets in the article, you're going to need 5, right? So what you're going to do is the next thing. You're going to click on the circle, yellow circle are for highlighting. And then you're going to copy, Control-C, copy. And then you're going to Control-V, paste. And then you are going to move. For example, I think Oscar Wilde is one of the Cavaliers mentioned in the article. After you read the article, you're going to know this information. Oh, Mr. But it's above the name. So what you're going to do, you go to this part. It says organizar, if it's in Spanish, or it says organize. Yeah, not that complicated. And then you click, and then you see the option that says enviar al fondo, and then you click there. There you go. So you're going to need another one because another author is mentioned over there. You're going to do what? Control-C, Control-V. You're going to move to the answer that you think that is the correct one. Then you go to organize, and then you're going to send it to the bottom, not to bikini bottom, but to the bottom of the presentation. All right, so I'm going to redo because many circles and answers. All right, once you finish, you go to the next activity. You click next. So in order to use the interactive buttons, you need to be in full screen. Remember, then you click next. The next part is task number 3, and it's all about from the King James Bible. We're getting biblical in here. Define the term in the box below. Bible. Bible is, according to Wikipedia, according to my research, according to the dictionary, according to blah, 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 according to my dad, is, all right? So you can define it in here. That's gonna be everything. And in this part, you're going to do something really cool that is going to be different. You're going to draw it. If you can draw it with your cell phone or your computer, fine, you can do it. If you cannot, which is in most of the cases, because I cannot, like I'm terrible, I don't know how to use the tools for drawing. So what you're going to do is you're going to go in web search, you're going to surf the net, you're going to go to internet, and then you're going to illustrate. How? You're going to find a picture that for you represents the best the concept of Genesis from the Bible. All right, you're going to select one picture and then you're going to copy and then you're going to paste it where blue buttons are for answers. Remember that. After that, you're going to go to the next one, Psalm 23, Salmo 23. You read it. If you know it, that's fine, but then you can Google it, and then you go and then you find something that represents the sense, the notion of the Psalm 23, and then you paste it over there. Where? Blue buttons. Am I getting Christian in here? Not really. We're just studying the literary piece. Am I getting religious? Some sort of, because the topic is secular and the sacred. And because British people were Christian, very Christian at this point. And the first printed, one of the first printed versions of the Bible translated is from King James. That's why we are talking about this at this point. Great. All right, so there's this poem, guys, that it's Eve's Apology, La Disculpa de Eva. No queremos ser machistas, no queremos ser misóginos, pero el poema está súper chévere. ¿Okay? Y no refleja lo que realmente es. Eve's Apology. In this activity, we're going to do something very cool. We're going to number the stanza. You remember what an stanza is? What a stanza is? I'm sorry. I'm just getting in here kind of complicated with the words. What you're going to do in the instruction says, place the numbers from 1 to 4 based on the correct order of the poem. Once you get it correctly, use it to answer the following task. So in here you have the, I'm sorry, in this I forgot to have the blue boxes for answers, but this one is also for answers. Stanza number 1, stanza number 2, stanza number 3, and stanza number 4. So in here you are going to place the answers. Where can you find these stanzas? In the next slide. So what you're going to do is you're going to exit full screen. You're going to pick, I think this is the, I'm going to read it. Yes, I think this is the first stanza. So if I consider this is the first stanza, I copy, Control C, I go to the previous one, I paste, Control V, and then I put it in here. Okay, and then I think the second one is this one, and then I do the same process. I copy, paste in the correct spot. You finish, you can go to the next activity, which is writing. But this activity is very close linked to the previous one. Once you select the correct order of the poem, the correct order of the stanzas, you're going to write about it because you're going to answer some questions. So you read one more time the poem, and then in here you have blue boxes for answers, and you have 4 questions. But in these questions are very particular because each question is for each stanza. For example, the first one, it says in the first stanza, who does the speaker say is most to blame for Adam and Eve's sin? Why? So imagine if you don't get the correct order. So that's going to be complicated. Imagine that you have a different order and the one that is number 3, you have it in number 1. So you're going to be reading It's not going to match. It's not going to match, so you're not going to be able to answer the questions. So make sure you get the correct order of the stanzas, because it's going to help you to get the reference in order to answer the questions, okay? The first stanza, it's about this. I answered. Where? In this space. In the all right. You can change the font, the font and the size of the letter. That's fine. In order the answer fits in the box. According, or you can make it bigger, smaller. It depends on you. And then it says, according to the second stanza, and then you answer in here. According to the third stanza, and then you answer in here. And the fourth one, where? Here. Then you're going to have the answers. All right, so that's for task number 3. I want to move, so click next. This one is about John Donne. This is one of the most famous metaphysical poets. So you're going to do one thing in here. Find interesting facts about John Donne. Say 3 things you learned from the short biography of John Donne. From where? From any, the video or the article. He said, I don't see a video or an article in here. So remember, in here you're going to state one thing that is interesting, the second thing that is interesting, and the third thing that is interesting. You are going to find it where? You're going to find it in the resources section. There is one video and there is one article. If you prefer to watch a video, go to the video. If you prefer to read an article, go to the article. If you prefer doing both, go and check both of them. Because it's going to be more information, it's going to be easier for you to select which information is for fun, for interesting fact number 1, interesting fact number 2, and interesting fact number 3. All right. Death Be Not Proud is one of his poems. And you are going to listen to the poem, and then you're going to answer the question in the question, only one question, in the following slide. So you click, you answer, you click, you understand it, and then if you can do it as much as you want, actually. And the question that is connected to the video is answer the following question. To personify something is to give it human characteristics. Remember, we've been talking some time ago about personification. Why might John have personified death in his poem? Where are you going to answer? Blue boxes. You're going to answer in here. You don't need to keep the answer here. You can delete it, and then you can start writing your answer. All right. And the last task is about literary elements. What are you going to do in this part? You are going to define and exemplify. You're going to do the definition. You're going to find the definition of conceit. And then you're going to find an example. Then you're going to find the metaphysical conceit. And then you're going to find an example. And then you're going to have theme. And then you're going to define it. And then you're going to exemplify it. And that's going to be everything. And that is part of the literary elements study in this topic, the sacred and the secular. One last thing, please react to the activity. It took me some time. Please don't take pity on me and say, oh, miser, blah, blah, blah. No, be objective and true and honest to the activity. If you like it, if you love it, if you if you yay, or if you're like, wow, that was amazing, wow, that was cool, or if you say, oh, I'm sad because it ended, or oh, I'm sad because it was too much, or you're angry, mister, that was a lot of work, and we work and we do this activity and we have so many classes and blah blah blah. You know how it works, right? The excuses. And how are you going to let me know? There's one section in here. You're going to use the arrow to select your reaction. You're going to copy, and then you're going to paste as required. Can you have multiple reactions? Of course. You can like it and love it, or you can wow and hate it. You know, you can make a salad out of reactions for this activity. This is a different activity, guys. And for me, it's very important that you explore it, and then you interact with different type of content. Now, for me, it's been always number one thing that you learn from different sources, and you know that I give you a lot of sources and from different type of content. And because the way I learn is the way I teach, and the way I teach is visual and interactive, and hopefully you like it, guys. If you don't, please let me know which type of activity you would like to see in this class, and we're going to try to incorporate it in the second term. Remember, the second term is going to be more pair work. We're going to do a lot of activities that combines pair work. All right, so great. One last thing that I want you to share, and I want you to reflect on this. There is a quote that says, "There are no shortcuts to any place worth going. There are no shortcuts to any education worth taking or having." Please, guys, I know that you are doing a lot of things, and I wanted to share this. I'm very proud of most of you, because I know my class isn't the easiest, and I know it's been quite challenging for some of you, but most of you, and one more time, I'm really proud of both group A and group B, because even though you have some language barriers and some language difficulties, you have been very responsible. Not all of you, but most of you. So for those of you who are always there asking, "Mister, can you please do this? Can you please check my homework? Am I doing okay? Am I doing it right?" I'm gonna be there as long as possible that I can reply, and as soon as possible I can reply. I'm going to do so because you deserve it, and because you cannot ask less than that, right? What else? For those of you who are not doing anything at all, please, guys, you are on time. It's just the first term. I told you in the previous session that I don't like to kind of like give you any score that you don't deserve. And it applies for both directions. If you deserve a 10, you're gonna get a 10 from me. All right? But if you don't deserve to pass the course, you're not going to pass it, because you need dedication and effort. I'm going to say this one more time because I'm not sure if it's recorded in the previous video. Remember the incident that I told you that I didn't record this part? So there is going to be one session that is going to be next class. Next class, it means Monday for group A, Tuesday for group B. And we're going to have a Q&A for discussing, and I'm going to give you some instructions for the midterm, and I'm going to give you some tips. Later on this afternoon or tomorrow, I'm going to upload a checklist of topics that are going to be covered in the midterm, because I know you don't have time, and I want to give you the specific topics you need to focus on and the skills you need to practice a little bit more. For those of you who haven't completed the previous task, or for those of you who say, "Oh, Mr. Look, I was so busy, I had so many things to do, blah, 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 blah," excuses, and reasonable and not reasonable excuses. Saturday, whole day. Sunday, whole day. Whole day you're going to have in space, and all of the activities are going to be available one more time. If you can make it, take it. All right. Great. Pleasure as always, guys. If you have any questions, I'm gonna be available for you. Text me, write an email. Don't call me at night because sometimes I'm sleeping and I cannot reply, but like you leave a message, an audio message, and I'm going to be there. See you, take care, have a nice rest of the day. And please, let's start doing the activities. Behave. It costs you nothing, guys.